Permissionless innovation is a wonderful thing, says the author of this book. He's Adam Thierer of the Mercatus Institute. And this permissionless innovation that brought us Google, Facebook, the phone, is threatened now?
Yeah, it is, John. There's a lot of efforts to impose permission-based systems on these new technologies. We're seeing it a lot with Uber and the sharing economies, but we're seeing it also in other fields like drones, like driverless cars, where it could make a real difference.
Drones, they're inventing all kinds of things, but the government says you can't do it unless you get an FAA license.
That's right. The basic argument that they make is that, there's these hypothetical worst cases that could occur, and they end up basing public policy upon those hypothetical worst case scenarios. The problem with that is if you base all public policy on hypothetical worst case scenarios, then best case scenarios will never come about. We'll never get life-saving or life-enriching innovations.
And the drone could crash a plane, but they weigh much less than seagulls, which planes hit all the time.
It's certainly true that there will always be accidents. There are always risks in the world. But we have ways of solving that without preemptive, precautionary, permission-based controls for everything. We can have common law solutions. We can have lawsuits. We can have contracts and property laws. Things like this can solve problems after the fact without the heavy hand of government quashing all that wonderful innovation.
Banning it first.
Right, exactly.
So drone makers are now going overseas.
Yeah, a lot of them are. A lot of them are basing their testing in Canada and Australia. A lot of driverless car companies are going to the UK.
If these rules had been in effect before, we might not have Google and Facebook and smartphones?
Exactly. Think about it. Think about 20 years ago if Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, if Steve Jobs of Apple, or anybody from Google had to come to the government, say the Federal Communications Commission, and get their blessing or a license to operate. You have to wonder how many of them would even exist today.